I believe they are. Okay, so it's the same format, so regiment and then CO, -1 if you put -1 for a reason. 0 is basically doing okay, but not amazingly. You can put a reason if you want, and +1 is obviously they're doing exceedingly well, and you can also put a comment there if you wish as well. So we're going to start with RC. So, do the regiment and the CO. Go now. You can vote as well, yes, Lee. Denied until after this vote. Okay. I'm writing them down, don't worry, digital. I've got a notepad up.
Alright.
Okay, so from what I can see, that's a mix of 0s and +1s on the regiment and the same on CL. So you're doing pretty okay. I mean, from my experience, the regiment has picked up recently this week, so I think that's an improvement definitely from weeks before, so good job. Just mark it down. Okay, next we move on to the Jedi. So you can do the just reg as the Jedi themselves, and then you can do generals, and then separate feedback for Yoda if you wish. I like to do that, just so Yoda can see his feedback on his generals as well. If there's 2 of you from the same regiment, try and just let your commander or highest rank vote. So we only want to see 1 5 first vote and 1 2 12 vote. All the Jedi generals can vote there, and Jedi, so, and Yoda, because they're special. So that's all +1s across the board, so let me just mark that down. Okay. If your PTS was important, Sassy, you didn't just quickly say it now.
Nah, it's not.
Whatever it was before. Okay. So next we're going to move on to the 212, Commander Boxer. So go ahead and do the regiment and the commander. I believe he's had exams recently, so I'm not sure if he has any inactivity post on it, but I'm sure he'll say something if he does. So that to me, so far looks like 0s across the board, unless there's any last votes come in. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, 0s is still doing okay, so your regiment's doing fine, and you know why you got a 0, so it's fine. Mark it down. Okay, next we move on to the Republic Believers, so High Templar Roger, who is the commander, so you can do regiment and then High Templar if you really want, to make it feel more special. Try and keep it as regiment first and CO second, just because it makes it easier for me, if you can. I mean, I can read it anyway, but it just makes it simpler. but I'm not sure what you got last week, but you have a few +1s swinging mostly for the commander, I think it is, yep, so that's a good thing for you. Probably your 0/+1s for the commander, and the regiment itself is getting a 0. Probably due to the lack of numbers of you, but that's not really your problem. You're a VIP regiment, so I don't think anyone holds that against you. I personally haven't really seen any problems with RMT recently, apart from like activity wise. But you know, this is what it is, and you're probably doing your best to solve it. So keep got the good luck to come mark it down. Next we move on to CT. Pretty much just going to vote for the regiment on this one because they don't have an X or a CO at the moment.
What about GMs?
Oh my god, yeah. Next we're going to move on to the purple people, GMs, so vote on the regiment and GM Commander Scott. Or the Inferno squad, I think. I'm assuming this is going to be all +1s, like last week. Nothing's really probably changed dramatically over a week, so been doing perfectly in every way, so yeah, keep up the good work. That's the fastest one yet. Plus yep, so good work GMs, keep up the good work. The only thing I would say is that maybe you need an EXO, but you probably don't. You've been doing perfectly so far, but you know that space has been void for a while, so yeah, I'm sure you're looking into it. CTs are the next one. There's no commander or EXO, so just vote on the regiment and the drill sergeants if you want as well. A lot of the drill sergeants are new, but they are actively doing the job and doing a pretty good job, especially training cadets from what I've seen. So, yeah, for the regiment itself, we got a 0. I reckon that's mostly down to, you know, with the loss of the commander, you know, they lost kind of the higher up to put them all in place, but it's recovering now, so yeah, I think it's going to a good place. I'm sure Warrant Officer Smiley will be grateful for his drill sergeants getting all +1s. Next we move on to CE. Bear in mind that Dragoon is a newly promoted EXO, so you can vote on him if you wish for his performance as CE. Better take that into consideration. Yeah, understandable. Don't feel too bad about getting 0'd, you know. You've only just pretty much got it, so nothing wrong there. The regiment itself seems to be getting a mixture of 0s to +1s, and that's an improvement from the week before, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they got all 0s, so it's on the rise, so it's good to see CE actually have some capable higher-ups again, so let me mark it down. Next we move on to CG. CG does not have a commander. They are under the rule of Battalion General Rush and Lieutenant General Spoody at the moment, so they are actively looking for higher-ups. Oh look, Rush has joined. Nice.
Captain, when
so you can
let him take over.
Let him take over, yeah. Yeah. You can vote on the General's performances in the regiment if you wish. Yeah, that's fine for me. So, the regiment seems to have mostly all +1s, and same with the generals, mostly all +1s apart from maybe 1 0. So, the only thing I would say in comment is that they, you know, kind of desperately need officers, but I'm sure Russia's aware of that. Next we will move on to the GC. Their commander is Simp. He's kind of a new commander, I reckon. He's been a commander a week, so you can probably properly evaluate him over his performance over this week, I guess. So, in my opinion, the regiment has definitely picked up in numbers since he's become the commander. That's my opinion.
Right, let's bring him here.
Yeah, CG, your vote was a definite improvement over last week, and same with GC. Pretty sure yours is also an improvement, so you're doing a good job. Mostly zeros / plus ones for the regiment, and same with the commander, I reckon. Just double check. Probably mostly zeros for the commander, but he's relatively new, so I don't think he'll take that too hard. Yeah.
You go just move him over to the side or something.
Okay, we'll move on. So next we have Ark. Ark Commander Shako, or Shadow as he's known, and his regiment. No, you don't have to leave, Sergeant Minton.
I'm sorry about
Hello, Cadet. Get back to the cadet room, please.
1 sec.
So Ark seems to have mostly gotten +1s for commander, which in my opinion is kind of a surprise. But obviously you guys think he's been doing a lot more active, so that's good. And the regiment's been a mixture of zeros and +1s. I'll mark this down, and then Battalion General Rush can take over again to finish, continue.
Thanks.
So we're up to the 91st.
Yeah, sorry again. Okay, was broken. We've been trying to fix it for an hour and a half. Okay, we'll move on to 501st then. Some members taking over.
91st, I believe.
Or -1, 501st. Oh, they haven't been done yet? Okay then. 91st then. +1 for 91st. And Max Fred is now the XO. No, not the XO, the Major.
Technical difficulties. They seem to be absorbed by a black hole which is located exactly where I'm standing. Anyway, we'll continue. Yes, that's some good feedback on the Major. I was hoping he'd actually be here because I was planning on promoting him to EXO right now, but fortunately he's not on at the moment, so it'll be when he next comes on. But the Major Max Red has been doing a very good job, and in my opinion he deserves to be promoted, so just letting you all know. The regiment itself seems to be getting a mixture of zeros / +1s. No, I demoted him because, you know, he hasn't been on in like fucking 2 weeks. So he's a captain now. But yeah, Max Red will win the EXO. And he's probably, Lollipop is probably going to be demoted all the way out the regiment eventually, so just letting you all know. But yeah, In my opinion, 91st, the numbers daily has definitely improved, as I normally see like active 5 to 6 of you most of the time during the day now, so that's very good to see. And I know the officers are definitely always doing trainings for you, because that's why I haven't needed to do them, because they're always proactive. So anyway, moving on to the Firewall first. Commander Viking and his regiment. I see some of you first or anarchists still putting CO first. I respect your anarchy. But yes, that seems like mostly +1s across the board. Apart from maybe the regiment, I've been up to 1 or 2 zeros, but it's mostly plus across the board. So good work. I think most of the regiments have actually improved since last week, apart from 212, but I think most people know why 212 hasn't improved. Yeah. Moving on, we'll now do the votes onto the generals. So if you would like to vote for Lieutenant General Spoody, again, -1, 0, +1 with your reasons why, if you need to. No dead shot, kind of like full feedback with generals and fleet. +1 Spoody, okay.
I'll write these down as well. I do like to know how my generals are performing. As most of you know, Rush is under a lot of pressure, given that he's the only fully trained battalion general I have. Yeah, which is why I said that if Rush is struggling with some of the regiments in terms of helping them out, my fleet will get involved. So we've got currently Captain Moten, I believe, with the 91st helping them out. We've got Commodore Dank with the CEs helping them out. So we're playing level field across the board.
Yes. I was going to say something, I forgot. But yes, anyway, we're moving on to Battalion General Rush himself now, so probably just going to put +1 down on it, not going to lie. Woo is like the most honest feedback you can, no holding back. If it's your opinion, it's your opinion, unless you're an idiot, in which case, you know, it's still your opinion, but, you know.
Beef.
+1, 0, CG has a few minutes recently. Now I will kind of attest to that. I do not disagree. Yeah, fair enough. So pretty much all +1s with 1-0. Thank you for the honest feedback. Next we'll vote for the fleet who are currently here, so we'll start with Ensign Sneaky. Actually no we won't, because he's only been fleet 2 days. So, but his performance over the 2 days has actually been very good. Oh, good job to you. In that case, I guess we'll vote for me, Captain Momo. Recently promoted Goddess. Vote with. I guess you can vote if you want Sneaky, seeing as you want in the actual fleet meeting, whatnot. It's your opinion, I guess. No, okay. So, all +1s, thank you very much. And finally, we'll move on to the Grand Admiral Deadshot. I do it every time, dead shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, 91st, if you could provide a reason for your 0, it would just help, like, you know, give Deadshot some feedback. Obviously, it always, like, even on 0s we do like feedback, so... It's your opinion, but still. He's got a gun to my head and I have to make you. That's fair enough, it's your opinion. Not everyone sees everything. Nobody's a extra god like me, but you know. That is all the fleet that's here. So next we'll move on to suggestions. So if anyone has any PTSs, I would PTS now. If you do want to PTS on the same topic, put PTS on topic. Okay? And we'll probably do 2 or 3 PTSs on the same topic before we move on, so we don't stay all day. So you may PTS now if you wish to have something to say, any suggestions for your regiment, stuff like that. Battle stations, anything. Anything you'd like to see change, any suggestions for other regiments. Any beef you want to clear the air now, go for it. PT Drill Sergeant, go ahead. I love it when you see Camo have another different staff here. You can have him show. Makes me laugh. I kind of agree, and your point there probably gives them a bad view of the server's events. That is a good point. But the only point is that most people feel that CTs are, you're not supposed to be CT forever, you know? I mean, some people commit to it, but the idea is to, like, join another regiment, in a way. And somebody's got to protect Deck 1, you know? And CTs, unfortunately, the, you know, bottom of the food chain in that case. So that's probably the reason why. But that's my opinion, and now we'll have the opinion of the 501st Major. Welcome back from the black hole.
Days.
We're just doing suggestions now. This suggestion is on the drill sergeant was saying that the battle station for CTs is not optimal for them because, you know, a lot of new people are CTs and it gives them a bad view of the server, being on Deck 1, not seeing good events and stuff. Yeah, I would agree with Twitch's statement. They are doing very well. They back to General Rush.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That's so sneaky. Got PTS on topic. Okay then, dead shot.
Alright, so, where do I start? Right, with the CTs, yes, I know sometimes it can be a bit boring when they're placed on deck 1, which is why sometimes when deck 1's not really getting any action, we as fleet try and move them around, especially teaming up with the 501st on deck 2, as is that spot, sees the most action, etc. So, I wouldn't really change our battle station CT, as we do need some sort of regiment on deck 1. But we do tend to move the CTs around, so we will make a fail on that. With the 212, basically, the reason why the 212 is in the main hangar is because they are armed with, obviously, as you know, RPGs and tanks, and that is the open area of the ship. So if they were to be placed inside the AI core, the AI core lobby, they wouldn't be very much use for their RPGs, and obviously they couldn't really drive around in tanks, etc. So for them to be in the main hangar, I think is pretty useful. The GCs are in there, you could say supporting them, but they also have another value point as well. The ARCs are obviously out there because their best equipment is their jetpacks. So it's the reason why we put those 3 regiments in the main hangar, covering it at all times. So if we were to move the 212, it would render their equipment pretty much useless. The last thing we want is explosions in the AI core, which would just bring the ship down, technically. So that's why they're in the main hangar.
Okay, then any more PTSs or not then?
The 91st had a PTS, and it was my captain.
And there he goes.
Guess who's back in the black hole, guys? And so we'll have the 91st PTS, and then I'll say what I'll say, and then that'll be that on that subject.
Break.
Holy shit, maybe there really is a black hole. Yeah, we're all dead. Nuncy, quick, let's slay the server. Okay. Where's the 212? Oh, hello. Let me go to you. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the 212 are making any complaints about their rally point, but the one thing I would say is they could probably extend to around Brig if they really wanted to, because nobody really protects around Brig, and around debrief, that's probably a place up until like the doors. They could probably go there if they really wanted to and stuff. But anyway, we're going to move on to a new PTS. So next PTS please, new topic. Okay, so CG, go ahead.
I think you guys may have kind of mentioned this a little bit, but about with the 91st a little bit with the battalion and everything. It would be better if they definitely had more people in the battalion, because I must say, like, during the last event in particular, before we actually left the ship, I mean, there was one 91st online, and he was getting called 3 different decks at the same time. I mean, it was nuts for him. So, I mean, there were a lot of people who needed healing on deck 1, deck 2, for the enemies being spawned in and everything, so, I mean, yeah, as a whole, 91st definitely needed more people to it. So.
Right, well, to be honest, the entire week they've had 5 to 6 people on the whole day. This is just one day. So I'm not saying your comment's wrong. There definitely wasn't a lot of people in the event, earlier, but it's a Sunday and people normally spend, time with their families on Sunday, so if I actually had a life I wouldn't be here either. So, anyway. Unless anyone has a PTS on the topic, but I don't really think. I haven't really seen a dip in the 91st low base, to be honest. Except for today. But trust me, I've been watching it every day, it's my job. But anyway, we're going to move on to a... Yeah, also they're an RP regiment, so not everyone loves it, you know. It's hard to get people into it. They try their best. Can't really blame them. I mean, sometimes only like 1 or 2 CG on, but they don't complain about it, right? You know, works both ways. Anyway, new PTS. Anyone have a new PTS? I'm not flaming your battalion, I'm just saying it works both ways, you have to see it from both sides. Grand Admiral Deadshot, you have your PTS?
Yeah, one thing to CG, so I don't think many of them know like their rally point. They don't really have one. Like the 91st, I expect all the CG to be on every deck, deck 1, 2 and 3. You know, as you are the police, so I expect you to be with some of the regiments. Like, again, depending on how many of you are actually online, we could have some CG with the 501st, helping them on deck 2, along with CTs as well. We could have some CG in the main hangar with the 212 from the arcs. You know, I want the CGs to be spread around as they were previously on deck 3. However, the GMs have conquered that now. So make sure you reattach to the rest of your men, Sergeant Major.
That's okay. So who had the upper PT? I believe it was Drill Sergeant Jimmy again, so go ahead again. Remember, this is your one chance a week to get your point across unless you want anything changed, so make sure to bring it up now. The CT fallback was the regiment got 0 and the drill sergeants got +1s, so you guys are doing well, especially with the new influx of the others, so you guys are doing well, so just keep up the good work.
One thing I will say to the drill sergeants is that me and my generals are currently looking out for any potential new people to step forward for the new CT commander, so trying to urge the drill sergeants now to step out of their shell a bit more and start coming forward with their leadership qualities. We are looking for one. Make sure you keep performing well.
Yep. 91st Sergeant, you have the PTS, unless I missed someone, in which case I apologise. Yeah. They need a revamp. That is something that could be looked into, I guess, by certain members of staff who are around the room. I know we've revamped a lot of areas around the ship, so something we possibly could do. CG, there is one thing that I do know, is that I believe that Russia's trying to figure out a new specialist class for your regiment, because you know that is something that never gets used. It's probably the worst specialist class there is, so he's looking into getting that reworked, so something to look forward to. RMT Commander, you have PTS?
Something about the 91st. If you do a regimental checkup, I don't think there is something wrong if every trooper in the regiment needs to get an operation. I don't think that's supposed to happen in an army.
I agree. The point of a checkup is basically to make sure they're okay. You can do some RP to an extent, but you shouldn't be, do operations on every single one, unless there's a logical RP reason for it, but otherwise it just takes up a lot of that regiment's time. 1 or 2 people, just to, help teach others would be good, but, yeah. I mean, I guess. If you have a PTS, type it again, because I didn't see. Okay, Grand Admiral again.
Yeah, with those checkups, 91st, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if it's just a simple checkup, you don't really need to fully extend operation, because that is just completely pointless. But I would like to see these regimental checkups happen a bit more frequently, as it is part of what we do here. Let's just say, and obviously that would be an opportunity to teach the lower ranks some medical RP stuff. It gives them a bit more incentive to do more, and I think everyone could actually benefit from that. So again, the same thing could be said with the CEs as well. Some weapons and armor checkups every now and then to make sure all of our armor is properly good and our weapons are fully intact and nothing's wrong with them. It teaches the lower ranks, gets them a bit of experience as well. So you can start seeing some of them a bit more, like every other day. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean the whole point of checkups is it's another way of basically doing training without doing the training, You trick people. PTS based off something Momo mentioned. Go ahead, Sergeant Major, I guess. Unless anyone else said a PTS on topic. Free strike, send your out rush. Baseball.
Keen Leo panic. Find out in about a minute and a half if I could see him.
I believe the TG had a PTS.
General, with all due respect, I might as well let Captain finish this off, as he's done most of it.
Yeah.
So, CG, go ahead.
Based off the new specialist class you kind of mentioned, that'd be something possibly along the lines of like a minigun or anything like that. Because just to be fair, I mean the only real thing that we come with is shotguns, and we don't have much of a variety.
It may or may not be a minigun. It probably won't be a minigun. It's something to discuss more in private with your general. So, because he's the the think tank of the idea, so you can help test him out and find an idea. I'm sure that'll help him out a lot and give him a good image of you. Anyway.
Cheeky.
PTS on topic or a new PTS? This will probably be the final one, the next one, because I think we've been here long enough. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's it. So, unless General Rush or Deadshot has anything to say? Or the meeting is
behind
over?
after this.
Okay, well, without further ado, you may stand up, salute, bow, and you're dismissed, unless you wish to speak to anyone in this room. Or anything.
Oh shit, I lost my holocron again.
No.
Hello!
Thank you for coming to the commander meeting.
Oh my god!
Thank you. Good job.
I think none
And my
of you
holocron
okay.
probably teleports to my barracks. Wink, wink, wink.
Cersei.
Happy birthday, Feeny.
Little say.
Now you can leave.
Would you
Happy
think I would like
birthday.
a riot guard?
Oh, the elevator is open! Let's get the fuck out of here, honestly. Are you happy with yourself, Sassy? It's boring. Not that, let's say that, it's fucking boring. Useless.